U.S. President Donald Trump said he must be involved in the appointment of Iran's next leader. These remarks appear to contradict previous comments from his administration that the attacks on Iran were not about regime change. Chris Reyes is following this part of the story from New York. And Chris, what more did we hear from Trump?
So, Ian, these new interviews with President Donald Trump is about as explicit as we've heard him talk about the U.S.'s role in Iran's future. He spoke to Axios and said this, direct quote, "They are wasting their time. Khamenei's son is a lightweight. I have to be involved in the appointment, like with Delcy," talking about Delcy Rodriguez in Venezuela. So pretty explicit there. And then to Reuters, he said this, "We want to be involved in the process of choosing the person who is going to lead Iran into the future." These are big statements, Ian, to make. Essentially, the president is saying that he will be personally involved in the national affairs of another country on an issue that is a bedrock of their sovereignty, picking their leader. And then Trump spoke this afternoon at an event celebrating football champs Inter Miami, and he wasn't as explicit there about regime change, but he did call on IRGC soldiers to surrender and then repeated his call for the Iranian people to take over their government.
And now is the time to stand up for the Iranian people and help take back your country. You're going to have a chance after all these years to take back your country. Accept immunity. We'll give you immunity. And we'll be giving you really the right side of history, because that's what it is. So you'll be perfectly safe with total immunity, or you'll face absolutely guaranteed death.
And then, Ian, more momentum for Trump after the U.S. House of Representatives voted down the war measures resolution that would have required him to get congressional approval for further attacks against Iran. That same bipartisan effort, by the way, also failed in the Senate yesterday.
How will, and this is a rhetorical question, but how will Trump manage to have influence on choosing the next leader in Iran? We will definitely canvass the opinions of analysts and experts. But Chris, let's move on to U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, who also spoke about the situation. What did he say?
Yeah. I mean, what we're getting from Secretary Hegseth, pretty similar to what President Trump said in those remarks this afternoon, but more details about the operation. So a lot of operational updates coupled with these assertions that this mission has been successful by their measure. So here's what we've heard so far, Ian. Ballistic missile attacks from Iran have gone down by 91% since the weekend's attacks. Drone attacks, 83% down. Iran's Navy gone. 24 ships in 3 days gone. Anti-aircraft weapons also gone. Their airplanes are gone. Communications are gone. Missiles are gone. Launchers are gone. So you sort of get the point. But of course, all of this, Ian, at this point in the war, especially, very difficult to verify independently. And then on timeline and supplies, Secretary Hegseth had to say this.
Our capabilities are overwhelming and gathering still, as are those of our Israeli partners. Our munitions are full up, and our will is ironclad, which means our timeline is ours and ours alone to control. As long as it takes to ensure the United States of America achieves these objectives. And as we flow more forces, and as we flow more capabilities, and as our munitions, as we're flying over the top, have even more devastating effects, we set the tempo, we set the timeline, led by the commander on the ground.
And again, I guess what's important to highlight here, Ian, is that we're getting assertions, claims and statements from the Trump administration on how this operation is going, but no substantial presentation of hard evidence. And then at this point, there are no hurdles for the Trump administration in continuing this mission, given that those resolutions failed to pass in Congress. The question here is where public opinion will stand as this operation extends. And that may be the more contentious forum for the Trump administration.
Well said. Chris Reyes in New York. Thank you.